So I'm going to show you a dress that I made in fashion class last semester. I used a simplicity pattern. I actually didn't buy this in the stores. I bought this on eBay over the summer, and yeah, it's simplicity 2400, and I made view A, I believe. Yeah, view A. And the fabric I used was this really heavy satin fabric. This fabric was a little bit more on the expensive side, but I used a coupon that my teacher gave me because she knew that I was going to have to use a lot of fabric. I believe it was $20 per meter, but I paid $10 per meter. Yeah, $10 per meter. Aside from the fabric and the pattern, I did make little flowers to go on the dress just because I felt like it was really bare on the top, and I also changed the neckline of the pattern to just a straight neckline instead of a sweetheart neckline. What else? I also gathered some netting at the very bottom of the dress just to make it a little bit more poofy. And I inserted an invisible zipper just to close at the back with a little hook and eye at the top, which I'll show you in a second. And I think that's all. Yeah, I'll show you the dress really quickly before I go into depth. That's my closet, so ignore that. So that's the very top of the dress. This was supposed to be a sweetheart neckline before, but I just changed it to straight. And there's a little thread hanging out there, but yeah. Then I made yo-yo flowers just to go on this bust area. And these are princess seams, in case anyone doesn't know. And then at the very bottom, it's gathered at the very bottom, and then I pinched up a few sides just to make it a little ruffly. And yeah. At the bottom, or on the inside I should say, it's lined with black lining, and you can see the gathers that I made here on the hem. Okay, as I was showing you the hem, I just remembered something while making the dress that I think I should just tell you. The instructions in this pattern were really good for the most part, but for the hem, that was just the most painful experience that I've ever had in fashion. I don't know how many times I had to take apart that hem just because I couldn't figure out how to sew it, you know? Yeah, I just did it. I just had to take it out and then sew it so many times, and I had to, it's a lot of fabric too. When you look at the dress, like, it's a lot of fabric. Like, it's 10 meters of fabric that I bought, and I used like 8. So I had to flip inside out 8 meters of fabric to sew the hem, and then flip it back, and it didn't work out. That's not including the netting or the lining either, so if you include that, it's one heavy dress. And I did all this beautiful hand stitching on the zipper, and I had to take all of that apart too just to sew this darn thing together. And then in the end, eventually my teacher showed me a different way to sew the hem, but I mean, I didn't like that way that much, but it worked. And then I had to do the hand stitching on the zipper again, and hand stitching takes a really long time for it to be a really good job done. Yeah, the hem was kind of sad. Yeah. I'll show you the back of the dress too. At the back of the dress, it doesn't quite fit my dress form, so I can't zip it all the way up, but I have a little hook and eye right there, and this invisible zipper, and it's just plain on the back really, and princess seams again. So that's my dress. All in all, it took me a week. No, not a week. It took me a month and a week to complete, I believe. Bye.